Those 3D glasses that are red on one side and blue on the other, and you get them in movie theaters. He cut them up so that the lenses were separate, and he stapled them together, and he taped it on top of his lens for his iPhone. And what that did, I'm not sure he understood how that was happening, what was going on, but he somehow knew to do that. I don't know how he knew to do that without knowing what he was doing, but he taped them on top of the lens. The red lets in infrared. The red and the blue together blocks out almost all visible light. And so the light that can get through is going to be the infrared stuff. There's not much ultraviolet light in the atmosphere, so it's really mostly infrared. And so what happens is the phone gears up its automatic gain control to try to get any light what at all. But there is no visible light that's coming in because of the red and the blue together. So what he ends up getting is mostly the ultraviolet, mostly the infrared. Mm-hmm. And he started taking videos with his iPhone with this makeshift thing of the Washington, D.C. area, and he started to get a whole bunch of UFOs. Interesting configurations, different shapes and everything. Mm-hmm. So the Washington, D.C. area was like filled with them. And these were things on demand, any 10-minute period that he would do it. He came to us with Excel spreadsheets, which had aeronautical data, all types of everything, the analysis of it, how you analyze distance, speed, size, everything. And then he came to us with recommendations for things he didn't even have. He said, what you need is a GH6 camera. He didn't even have one, but he knew we needed a GH6. And he knew that we needed to send it to a specific company called lifepixel.com, to have it converted. Now, there are other places that do conversion. What they do is they take the sensor, and the sensor of all cameras has a glass filter on top of it that blocks out infrared and ultraviolet, because you don't want that in your images. However, that glass filter on top of the sensor has to be removed. Once you take the filter off of the sensor, you have to put another filter on top of the lens. He knew all about that. He didn't have any of that, but he knew all about that. And to tune into the bandwidth that you want in the electromagnetic spectrum to get the exact infrared spectrum part that you want. And so then he showed us a lot of videos on our big screen in our own office, standing up with a laser pointer and everything, showing the videos of these UFOs that were very clearly UFOs. Mm-hmm. And then he also talked about the frame rate issue because they go so fast. The thing about the GH6, why it was unusual, is you have to shoot wide angle because you can't see these things. They're invisible, both because of some stealth technology that you can see them only in infrared, and secondly, they're going 20,000 miles an hour. So it could be the size of the Titanic. You're not going to see it if it's 20,000 miles an hour. So we shot it at 120 frames a second. It was like, this is one of those experiences you have only once or twice in your whole life. You do something first time out, and like, it's right in front of you. In 10 minutes, we had like 30, 40 UFOs right over my house. Mm-hmm. And some of them are huge. And they were swooping down like Star Wars jet, like Star Wars TIE fighters.